Greetings, community, and welcome to Entropy and Comics and another edition of today's sign book. I'm just kidding. No, greetings, community, and welcome to another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 4/23, 2025. Yeah, I'm just messing with you on the intro. Plus, I'm a little bit tired, and I really have a short list on this week, and it's going to be rather quick. So I want to take a moment to basically say, look, people, I greatly appreciate you. You guys have been hanging out with me for so many years. And yeah, I want to say without you, it would only be half as true as it is, and half as fun as it actually is. So I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And yeah, jump on into it. Starting off with over at Image, we're going to talk about Bug Wars issue number 3 of 6. This is a book that I wasn't initially going to pick up, and Jason Aaron is such a phenomenal writer that I couldn't pass it up. So I had to pick it up, and I am greatly, greatly thankful that I did. Hey, Jag, I hope you're doing well, buddy, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. So I not only ended up picking up Bug Wars issue number 1 and really enjoyed it, but it then quickly became on my pull list, and here we are going to talk about issue number 3. First one was a great setup, in my opinion. Second one did really well on explaining what the first one was talking about, and it further developed not only the character, but the story in which they were residing in, and I'm digging it. Can't wait to read issue number 3. So again, Bug Wars coming out to you and me, issue number 3 on 4/23, 2025. Let's move out from Bug Wars, talk about G.I. Joe, issue number 6. This finishes off the story arc, and what this does is it finishes off everything residing with this whole Energon universe, before which we get to Free Comic Book Day. Excuse me. So from there, what we're going to do is we're going to launch a whole new, I guess, platform where we're going to get for 2025. Plus, what this also gives us is what we've been highly anticipating for, that final battle, first battle, that inevitable battle that we want to see with Duke and the Cobra Commander. Here we are. And it's going to kind of start off that way. So I can't wait to get my hands on this. I've been looking forward to this battle for quite some time. And like I said, this sets up for what we're going to get on Free Comic Book Day, where it gives us a whole nother Energon universe one shot. And like I said, it does start off with a whole new 2025 version of what we're going to get for the Energon universe that involves G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Void Rivals. Excuse me. All right. Again, as I said, G.I. Joe issue number 6 coming out to you and to me, 4/23, 2025. Let's move on from that. Talk about Universal Monsters, The Mummy, issue number 2 of 4. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. All these monsters really take me back in the sense of what I initially anticipated and what I am receiving. As the classic monsters are concerned, I always was a fan, but I never really got that far into the whole lore and the development and how all this came to be, as much as I guess the result and what happened after these monsters came into fruition. The rewrite of these tales and the origins of these characters are not only allowing us to go ahead and modernize these characters, but allows us to appreciate the origins that they truly came from in the beginning, and appreciate where these origins of these monsters came from as they're being rewritten into a modern day style. I'm digging it. I really am. I now really want to kind of revisit a lot of these classic monsters as it was written by the original writers. So there you are. There you have it. Universal Monsters issue number 2 from, I guess this would be the final excerpt that we get from all these Universal Monsters stuff. And that's The Mummy that we're getting. And I don't know that they're coming out with anything else. This is like the 4th version of stuff that we've gotten so far. And I'm digging it. I've been getting them all. So Universal Monsters, The Mummy, issue number 2 of 4 coming out to you and me by Image Comics on 4/23. Let's move out from Image to talk about IDW, because they're going to give us Masters of the Universe Turtles of Grayskull, issue number 4 of 5. Turtle fan, yes. He-Man, mostly when I was watching it, when I was younger, extremely. Did I ever think that these two would ever do a crossover? No way. Am I digging it? Absolutely. Oh my God, this is a crossover that no one ever thought would ever come. And if you're even remotely a fan of either one of these franchises, there's no way you should be missing out on this. Highly recommend. It is definitely a fun crossover. And as I stated before, if you're not really reading it as a fan of one of the other two, you're missing out. Highly recommend it. IDW Masters of the Universe, Turtles of Grayskull, issue number 4, coming out in 423. Let's move off from IDW now. As I said, we're ripping right through them and cruise over to Marvel, where they're going to go ahead and give us our final 5. Started off with Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 2. Here we are, the reboot, kind of a continuation, somewhat. A relaunching of. I don't know how you want to put it. My point is I'm liking this writing style. I mean, we got a little bit of taste of it in the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. What was it, 2 issues he wrote? My point being is we've seen this kind of setup before. We've seen some of this delivery before. But we're seeing augmentations, both in characters, Peter, Rhino, but also in the presentation. So I'm really digging this Spider-Man, even though we're getting another Spider-Man. Issue number 2, I really think is this whole new Spider-Man throughout 2025. I'm really looking forward to. I know there's supposed to be, I don't know, there's a writer I dig. I know there's supposed to be some things coming up by issue like 4 that I'm looking forward to. It's supposed to explain some of the things that we got in issue number 1. And I can't wait to get to issue number 2 because that sets up for issue number 4, which we got to get 3 first. Yeah. I know I'm hopping around, but I am excited. And I've really been digging what we've been getting as far as this whole setup of this new arc with Amazing Spider-Man. And I guess I'm part of the crew that's, been complaining somewhat about what we've been getting with the past 4 or 5 years. So I just been excited to get what we've been getting. And issue number 2 comes out to me and you on 4/23, 2025. Moving on from Amazing Spider-Man, let's talk about Infinity Watch, 4 of 5. Now there's a couple of things that got kind of brutal here. It's not, by issue number 3, I was like, whoa, really? Holy Macatoonie. I don't want to give away things, but wow, people were humbled real quick, got squished really fast. This was just something I had to make a decision if I want to read the Infinity Watch, but I've been picking up these new characters that have been introduced to us since 2022. And I've been kind of involved in some of these earlier characters. Plus, they're supposed to give some more of these newer characters that they've been giving us in this. I don't know if I want to ruin that either. But there's supposed to be more stuff that's supposed to happen down the road. In about 3 months, we're going to get another book that's going to relate to some of the things that are happening here. I've already been privy to some of that stuff, and I don't want to ruin it. So all I'm really saying is, yeah, Infinity Watch has been really good for me. I really had low expectations, but the way it's been kind of, brewing and how it's been setting up for what I know it's going to happen down the road, and we only have 2 more issues to go, I've been digging what's been happening. So Infinity Watch 4 or 5 coming out to you and me on 4/23. Let's move out from that and talk about Magic, issue number 4. I have to admit, I'm not reading it. Seriously. But I did buy it. What I've been doing is I've been looking through it, and it has been kind of cool. I've been getting this stuff for Kai. Kai asked me to go ahead and buy all this stuff, and what I've been getting is all the design variants, and I've been pre-ordering the cover A's for everything throughout. He's been playing Marvel Rivals, and he's been getting a lot of background history on these characters. It's been forcing him to read stuff, and it's been pulling me into stories that I'm not normally reading. So as I said, I'm not really, quote unquote, reading, so I don't want to say that I know too much of the storyline, but it has been interesting for someone that me doesn't really know a whole lot of background history on Magic. It's actually been kind of cool. The character coming from hell, winning a sword, has souls in it. I can see this whole internal battle that's going on within, and I really, it's kind of cool. I really been digging it. So like I said, I'm not really going to make claim that I'm totally reading it, but I will make statement that it has been interesting from what I've been flipping through, and I have been enjoying what I've been seeing. Just saying. So I can't say it's my most anticipated read. It's pretty far on this list. But I will say it's been one of my most anticipated flip throughs. Just being honest. All right, moving out from Magic issue number 4, which yes, as you said, I've been getting it. Let's talk about One World Under Doom, issue number 3. This almost made my blue light special. Just saying. Just saying. The only reason why I didn't is the one that's I'm about to read that comes after it. It's just been, it's been awesome. So I'm not going to talk about that quite yet, but what I am going to talk about is One World Under Doom has been awesome. This is issue number 3 of, I believe, 8 that's coming out. And what this does is it is an event. It has other, tie-ins that are going along with it. It does support it rather well, but this One World Under Doom, along with, for me, Doom Academy, has been pretty cool. I can't get enough Strange Academy stuff anyways, and the fact that they got sucked into and set up by Doom early on in the events that were going on way over in the Blood Hunt, and it all turned out to be this, everyone got suckered by Blood Hunt issue number 5. Doom has set everybody else up. He's been setting things into motion. You see how it's working out, not only to his master game plans, seemingly, but also in aspects to where he didn't really know fully what some of the responsibilities were of Doctor Strange. When we talk about, yes, the 8 deaths of Spider-Man is one great example. So we're finding out that not only fully understanding some of the responsibilities and obligations of being a Sorcerer Supreme, he's just in his own mind thinking about what he wants to get done, which is essentially just taking over and just implementing his own agenda. This has been a fun ride. Really, anybody that's a fan of Doom knows that this is really, in my opinion, been doing Doom justice. Does that sound odd? In the sense of what kind of character this is, the gravity that he implements onto the Marvel Universe, and how well he's been not only written but depicted into the storyline that sets up a major event that's not only going on right now, but will end up coming to some type of crescendo when we get to this end. I know there's a lot that's building up to it, so it's just been nothing short of fun and awesome. So I look forward to not only picking that up, but getting it into my greedy little hands. Like I said, it was almost my blue light special, but it was just beat out by Eddie Brock's Carnage issue You and Me on 423. This is just Soul is killing it. Seriously, on this, Carnage is one of those visceral characters that if you can't properly write, you are really called out pretty quick. It almost seems like, and this is not me bad mouthing, many people get a shot at Spider-Man, but few people get a shot at Carnage. This is one character that, unless you're really geared towards writing something like this, it shows how poorly you write something like this. And this is not the case in this. As you see in my blue light special, I picked this because this is my most anticipated read, because this has been nothing short of stupendous on delivery. Every time I end up turning the page, I have no idea who's going to play victim or who's going to play victor, and the roles each one is trying to play as far as who's the actual recipient or who's playing the host or who is actually receiving the most out of the symbiotic relationship when it comes to the two, Eddie Brock, Carnage, in this mutual but semi agreed upon arrangement relationship. I don't even know where you want to put it, because they're both out to take one another out. And they're both only using one another to go ahead and get to their end game. And you see that both of them entirely have a point to make, and their end game's far different. So it's just been really interesting to see all this irony and all this. I mean, there's so much going on here, and there's so much eternal. You see the battle like never before. Before it was just a matter of contending with the individual that you're supplying a symbiotic relationship with, and now it's just a matter of who can take control. Again, I can't get enough of symbiotes in general, but when it's written as well as this, to me, it really shows how awesome a character such like this can be. And that's why for me and my channel Entropy, this is my Blue Light Special. I can't wait to get my hands on this thing and read it. Not just to be able to get this story down, but to understand that this is really setting up for when I got to talk to Charles, what he has planned for this character and for Eddie as an end game to he really has an evolvement plan for the characters. They're neither one are going to be the same after this, and I'm looking forward to see what this change is going to be. Hey, everyone that decided to cruise on through, and especially Jack, that means you, and anyone else that was ghosting me for a bit, I appreciate you greatly. Anyone that cruises on in on a rewind and you like what you see, well, I appreciate you. And if you could do for me, hit that like and subscribe. And that's it for me. Entropy. Everyone, you stay well. Until next time.